At first, I like to share the words from the Raja Sutra. So please join me in Gasho. Please put your palms together. 11の花の中より3600千億の光を射出す。11の光の中より3600千億の物を射出す。真直至根にして総合種毒なり。11の諸物、また100千の光明を放ちて、あまねく実法のために微妙の法を説きたもう。核のごときの諸物、おのおのに無料の主情を仏の衝動に安流せしめたもうと。From within each flower, 3600,000 codes of rays of light shine. From within each ray of light, 3600,000 codes of Buddhas appear. They have bodies of purple gold and superb physical characteristics and marks. Each Buddha releases 100,000 rays of light and expounds the exquisite, wonderful Dharma for all sentient beings in the 10 quarters. Each of those Buddhas securely establishes the countless sentient beings on the right Buddha way. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Shotsuki monthly memorial service for those who have passed away on the month of April. And this is actually recording the Dharma talk again. This morning, we recorded the Dharma talk, but, I thought, the first part of the recording or the Dharma talk was not recorded. So I thought it's better to record it again so that you can hear whole message again. But, I'm sorry that I was not able to be here physically last Sunday. It was so nice to visit Arizona Buddhist Temple in Phoenix, Arizona. It was first time for me to visit the temple. And I am glad that I was able to visit there while it is still the season of hot and not hotter. It was about 80 degrees and it said, the members said, it's going to be like 100, 110 in the summertime. So it was much cooler compared to, these seasons. I guess the cherry blossom season in Portland is almost over. But, Portland is so beautiful with so many flowers. I really like spring because, the feeling of or atmosphere of spring is so cheerful. But some people hate spring because of the allergies. And when I moved to the United States from Japan, Reverend Bob Oshita of Sacramento told me that almost everybody gets allergies in Sacramento in a few years. But I'm not sure if this is related to my hometown or not, but I grew up in the countryside so that I don't have any allergies to haze or pollens or anything. But anyway, April is the season of the beginning or new beginning in Japan. My son Hikaru just entered the Saturday Japanese school and he just had an entering ceremony yesterday. And, in Japan, newly grads start working from April. And I often remember about my student years when I see the beautiful flowers, especially the cherry blossoms. And a few years ago, I had a chance to talk to the group of people who was going to Tokudo. And Tokudo is the ordination, and the one becomes a priest by receiving the Tokudo. And, as an overseas minister from Japan, it is so nice and encouraging to see people who grew up in the United States or the other countries or outside of Japan going to Tokudo ordination. At the gatherings, I was asked to talk about the essentials of Jodo Shinshu, my path, which is on page 2 of the Purple Service book. And, this is a secret, but if you memorize what is written in Jodo Shinshu, essentials of Jodo Shinshu, I am sure that you have no trouble passing the written exam when you go to Tokudo ordination. And of course, the person have to memorize Shoshin and Ryogemon and so on. So memorizing only the essentials of Jodo Shinshu would not be sufficient. But what is written in here is really, really important things for Jodo Shinshu teachings. Then I remembered about receiving the question from the participants. Sensei, is the Pure Land a place or the state of mind? And I really like Honen Shongin's answer, similar to this kind of question. He said, let's go there and find out. The Shinran Shongin said in preface to chapter on Shinjin of Kyogyo Shinsho, the monks and ladies of this latter age and the religious teachers of these times are floundering in concepts of self-nature and mind only, and they disparage the true realization of enlightenment in the Pure Land way. And I'm sorry that I forgot to create the slide for this, the Shinran Shongin's quote, but if you have collected works of Shinran, you can find it in the preface to chapter on Shinjin of Kyogyo Shinsho. And on the footnote of the word self-nature and mind only, in Japanese version of Kyogyo Shinsho, the collected works of Shinran doesn't have this footnote, but it said, from this attitude, the one insists that the self-nature is Amida and this mind is the Pure Land. So Shinran Shongin clearly denies the idea to think that the Pure Land as the state of mind. And to me, the Pure Land is the place where we are able to meet our teachers of life, those who have passed away before us. And Pure Land is the realm of enlightenment of Amida Buddha. But I believe what matters is not if the Pure Land is place or the state of mind. For instance, bathtub. And this is my 11th year in the United States that I have gotten used to not soaking myself in a bathtub, but it's still common in Japan. We soak ourselves in the bathtub to warm our body. But it's not the bathtub which warms our bodies. It is hot water, right? We cannot put ourselves in the empty bathtub and say, oh, this bathtub warms me up. However, what is holding the hot water is the bathtub. So we cannot soak ourselves into the hot water if there's no bathtub. So the discussion like, which one warms me up, the hot water or bathtub, is meaningless discussion. Important thing is the working of heat, which warms me up, right? So the Pure Land is the same thing. I believe we cannot gain anything from the discussion like if the Pure Land is place or the state of mind. Shinran Shongin himself sometimes say that I will await you there in the Pure Land. So this sounds like the Pure Land is the actual place. But he also expressed the Pure Land as the land of the infinite light. So it is hard to imagine if the Pure Land is place or different kind of things. But important thing is that when our lives comes to an end, we who had nothing helpful to attain enlightenment reach the Pure Land and become Buddha. This working of Amida Buddha's primal vow is the most important thing in Jodo Shinshu teaching. So in the essentials of Jodo Shinshu, it lists sutras we rely on. The Raja Sutra, the Amida Sutra, and Contemplation Sutra. And Amida Sutra is often referred to as the smaller sutra because the Raja Sutra and the smaller sutra shares the same Sanskrit title, Skavati Vyuha. And Skavati Vyuha means the adornments of the land of the utmost bliss. And some people say that Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching was realistic teaching. And he did not talk about the Pure Land, where we go after we die. But in one of the oldest collections of the words of Shakyamuni Buddha titled Dhammapada, Shakyamuni Buddha said something like this. Hunger is the foremost illness. This body is the foremost suffering. For one who knows this as it really is, Nirvana is the foremost happiness. So this is one of the English translation that the word foremost could be, exchanged to the word utmost, and happiness could be bliss. And from this verse of Dhammapada, I can imagine what the utmost bliss for Shakyamuni Buddha was. And that was Nirvana. And I might have shared with you this before, but it is said that the word skavati view has ska, S-U-K-H-A, that ska, has meaning, the unworldly happiness or bliss. So this is referring to Nirvana. But it also have the meaning, worldly happiness or bliss. So it's like worldly pleasure or something. So the sutra, Skavati Vyuha, expresses Nirvana, which has no form nor color, with the depiction as the worldly happiness or bliss. So simply saying, the formless took the form, or formless manifested the form. But, this sounds really complicated and confusing. But what I want to say is that what Shakyamuni Buddha referring to as the foremost happiness or utmost bliss or nirvana and the pure land of or the land of the utmost bliss, these are not talking about different things. Shinran Shonin explains the word of Master Shantao in Notes on Essentials of Faith Alone. And Master Shantao said, the land of bliss is the realm of nirvana, the uncreated. And the uncreated is another confusing term, but something which is created has an end because everything is impermanent. But nirvana, the land of bliss, is not the subject of impermanence because it is not created, it is uncreated. It is beyond our imagination. It is beyond our imagination that we cannot grasp the whole meaning of what nirvana is or what the land of bliss is like. But Shinran Shonin named few words to express what nirvana is, even though he himself felt it is impossible to explain in detail. So he said, nirvana is extinction of passion, the uncreated, peaceful happiness, eternal bliss, true reality, Dharma body, Dharma nature, suchness, oneness, and Buddha nature. So nirvana is the realm of oneness. It is the pure realm of absolute equality of the self and others. So it is beyond our imagination. And I talked about the view of ordinary beings and the Buddha the other day. Because nirvana is the realm of absolute equality, it is the matter of Buddha's view. And we cannot perceive it with our senses. But if the Buddha needs to explain what the nirvana is like from the Buddha's view, it becomes just like the adornments of the Pure Land, which is expressed as our onaijin, the outer area. Then Shinran Shonin said, realm means place. Know it as the place of attaining enlightenment. And it is interesting that the original Japanese of Shinran Shonin's word used the word boundary instead of place. But the translator translated as the place. I believe it is to avoid confusion or misunderstanding. But what I learned from the book of Dr. Hajime Nakamura he is the professor emeritus of Tokyo University. He passed away, but he wrote a book called The Way of Thinking of Eastern People or something. But in the book, there is the way of thinking of Indian people. And Indian people likes to exteriorize the vague ideas. You know, I started to have like white hair and white beard. So I say, I'm getting old, right? This is the English expression. I am getting old. But Dr. Hajime Nakamura said that Indian expression is like, I gone to the oldness. So Indian people express the vague idea like oldness, as if there is a realm or boundary of oldness, and we go there. So Shakyamuni Buddha attained enlightenment under Bodhi tree. And we can express this as Shakyamuni has gone to the realm of Nirvana, right? Realm or boundary of Nirvana. That is Tata, suchness, or oneness. Then he stood up from under the Bodhi tree to share the teaching with people. So this can be expressed as Shakyamuni Buddha has come from the realm or boundary of the Nirvana or Tata. So we sometimes call Buddha as Tathagata, right? The meaning, the one who came from Tata, suchness, oneness, or Nirvana. So the Nirvana is the realm of utmost bliss, which means we can say that Nirvana is same as the Pure Land of Amida Buddha. And you know, today's talk is a little bit complicated. So if you have lost me already, you can listen to my talk again and again until you get it. But you know, in Jodo Shinshu, we understand that Shakyamuni Buddha also appeared from the Pure Land of Amida Buddha. And I'm not sure if this is a good example or not, but we use hot water to make coffee, right? It's the hot water which became coffee, different from the hot water we used to make coffee. I hope you are getting the question. Is the hot water which became coffee different from the hot water we used to make coffee? So this is another complicated question that in Buddhism, we express as it is not different nor the same. But the hot water went through the coffee filter and became coffee. So the tasteless water, actually water has taste, so I cannot say tasteless, but you know, tasteless water acquired the taste of coffee by going through the filter of coffee, right? So sometimes I use coffee filter as the example of the manas consciousness. So if you have heard me talking about Yogacara before, you might be confused, but you know, I'm using the same kind of metaphor of the coffee filter, but this time coffee filter could be something like Nirvana or true wisdom or something, right? So Shakyamuni Buddha gone to the realm of Nirvana, and he is expounding the teaching with the filter of the realm of Nirvana. So he is expressing the colorless and formless realm with the words. And Shakyamuni Buddha is expounding what the Pure Land is like in the larger sutra or Skavati Vyuha, the Sanskrit title. You know, the Nirvana, the land of utmost bliss, is just like the world of the lotus flower. And he's saying that each flower emits the countless light, and from the countless lights, countless Buddha appears and expound the teaching for us to walk the path to the enlightenment. So Shakyamuni Buddha appeared from the land of utmost bliss of Amida Buddha, and expounded the teaching of Nembutsu to lead us to walk the path to the enlightenment. So this is Jodo Shinshu way of understanding Shakyamuni Buddha. And our loved ones who have passed away before us are part of these countless Buddhas. You know, at the beginning, I said, I remember when I was a student, when I see the cherry blossoms. My basketball teammates from the middle school now have like 4 children, and I can see him enjoying life on, you know, Facebook or social network. And when I see the cherry blossom, I remember about him. And on the other hand, my classmates from high school committed suicide when I was a university student. And I really felt how powerless I am and how we are not sure when our lives comes to an end. And every time I see the cherry blossoms, I remember so many things. And I accept that as the calling from the Pure Land, the realm of Nirvana, taking the form as cherry blossom and teaching me the truth of life. And also the cherry blossoms questions me. Am I living this life as fully as I can? Are we living this life as fully as we can? Are we really treasuring this moment we can be with friends and families? And I feel that the cherry blossoms are teaching me these kind of things. So today, I started from talking about if the Pure Land is place for the state of mind. But important thing is the working of the primal vow of Amida Buddha, which makes us, who are full of blind passions, attain Buddhahood. So the discussions like if the Pure Land is place for the state of mind is really meaningless discussion. Important thing is Amida Buddha's primal vow, which makes us Buddha through the power of the primal vow. And our loved ones who have passed away before us reached to the Pure Land, gone to Pure Land, realm of Nirvana, attained Buddhahood. And now they are guiding us to the path to the enlightenment. This is the path of Nembutsu. So I hope everyone remembers this message whenever you see some kind of flowers. And when you see the flowers, you can probably image my talk like, oh, since he was talking something like this, and you know, accept the flower as kind of the manifestation of the wisdom, guiding light of the Pure Land. So I would like to conclude today's talk with the reading of On White Ashes written by our 8th head priest, Rennyo Shonin, from 15th century. So please join me in a show. Please put your palms together. それ人間の小なる相をつらつら感ずるに、おおよそ儚きものはこの世の始終中、幻のごとくなるいちごなり。さればいまだ漫才の人参の受けたりということを聞かず、一生過ぎやすし、今に至って誰か100年の業態を保つべきや、我や先人や先、今日とも知らず明日とも知らず、遅れ先立つ人は元の雫末の梅雨よりも茂しと言えり。されば明日には幸願なって ゆうべには白骨となれる稲荷。すでに無常の風来たりぬれば、すなわち二つの眼たちまちに閉じ、一つの息長く耐えぬれば、高願虚しく返じて、通りの装いを失いぬる時は、六神眷属集まって嘆き悲しめども、さらにその会あるべからず。さてしもあるべきことならねばとて、野外に送って、夜の煙となし果てぬれば、ただ白骨の溝のこれり、哀れというもなかなか愚かなり。されば人間の儚きことは、老少不浄の境なれば、誰の人も早く御生の一大事を心にかけて、阿弥陀仏と深く頼み参らせて、念仏もすべきものなり。あなかしこ、あなかしこ。On white ashes, in silently contemplating the transient nature of human existence, nothing is more fragile and fleeting in this world than the life of man. Thus, we have not heard of human life lasting for 1,000 years. Life passes swiftly, and few among men can maintain their form for even 100 years. Whether I go before others or others go before me, whether it be today or tomorrow, who is to know? Those who depart before us are as countless as the drops of dew. Though in the morning we may have radiant health, in the evening we may return to white ashes. When the winds of impermanence blow, our eyes are closed forever, and when the last breath leaves us, our face loses its color. Though loved ones gather and lament, everything is to no avail. The body is danced into an open field and vanishes from this world with the smoke of cremation, leaving only the white ashes. Nothing is more real than this truth of life. The fragile nature of human existence underlies both the young and the old. Therefore, we must, one and all, turn to the teachings of the Buddha and awaken to the essence of life. By so understanding the meaning of death, we come to appreciate the meaning of this life, which is to be treasured because it is unrepeatable. By virtue of true compassion, let us realize the unexcelled value of this existence, and let us live together with gratitude in our hearts, humbly and respectfully. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda.